You are logged on and listening to the Computer Corner radio show, brought to you by Computer Corner, your local resource for computer hardware, software, services, and training since 1983. Computer Corner is high-tech with a human touch. This is Phil Shortell, your host and the lead instructor at Computer Corner, and with me here today, as is the norm, are both the owners of Computer Corner, Carol and Joe Petronovich, and good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hey, if you don't know the difference between a macro and a Macintosh, a megabyte and a megahertz, or an MPEG and an MP3, or if you have any computer problems or questions, we're here to help answer those questions.
We're excited to once again have my husband Joe on the show with us today. And if you have hardware questions, even on older computers, Joe can definitely answer them.
It would not surprise me if Joe could answer questions on Babbage's analytical engine, which many consider the first attempt at a computer in which he built, Babbage that is, in 1860s.
Went to school with him.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah. And when he was trying to use the wood, I handed him the hammer, too. And for me being Computer Corner's lead instructor, I can answer your software questions.
Please allow us to be your personal computer consultants. If you're having problems with your computer, we really want to help. Thank you for listening to the Computer Corner show, and thank you for your business.
Hey, don't forget Computer Corner is at 3101 Manal Northeast, about 2 blocks west of Carlisle on the north side of the street.
You can call Computer Corner at 881-2333. We're open today until 5 p.m. and Monday through Friday. We're open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. for both sales and service. We offer all the major brands of computer hardware like HP and Dell and Intel and more. And we also offer mining rigs.
If you don't know what a mining rig is, and I'll just tell you it does not involve wearing a hard hat with a light on it, you can read Carol's blog on our website at www.compcorner.com.
Yes, indeed. And we actually might talk more about mining rigs later, and perhaps Bitcoin and blockchain as well. So if you hadn't heard those terms, we might be able to educate you about those.
I think they probably heard Bitcoin, but I doubt that they've heard blockchain.
And they're connected, though.
You think about all the people from New Mexico who left and took their high-tech ideas with them. Bill Gates, Paul Allen, Jeff Bezos, Ed Roberts of MIT's Altair, and none of them stayed in New Mexico.
What a different state we would have had if they'd stayed here, don't you think?
Yeah.
But the Silicon Valley might have been right here in New Mexico. If you've noticed that there are a lot more updates going on lately, and not just on Patch Tuesday, you're not imagining it. In fact, I seem to be getting them now on Thursday nights, and my computer that's running Windows 7 is the one that's getting that.
It just occurred to me we should be calling it now Patch Any Day.
True.
Right.
True.
Sure. Microsoft probably does. Patch every day.
Right.
So more like it. So back to what we always say, always practice safe computing. Be careful where you click and what you download. And along those lines, we had a customer email us last week, and he had a problem with a key on his laptop keyboard, and it seemed really simple to fix. So he watched a YouTube video about how to repair it. When he followed the steps, he actually made it worse and totally
remember
destroyed
that anyone can post a YouTube video, and it doesn't have to be accurate or honest. Now, of course, if it's offensive or seriously harmful, YouTube will pull the post.
But like other malware, some YouTube videos are posted by people absolutely knowing that what they're posting is bogus. In fact, Joe, you probably remember that YouTube post that had people drilling into their iPhones to supposedly add an audio port?
Wait, you weren't supposed to do that?
No, yeah, that was a few years ago, and the video actually showed someone drilling a hole in their iPhone, and the video showed them exactly how to measure and what area to drill into, and then plug in the audio cable into the hole, and supposedly enjoying your tunes that way. And several thousand people actually did that.
Really, that's terrible. As Joe said, a lot of people did that, and it not only damaged and actually completely ruined their iPhone, it voided their warranty, so they were just out a phone and all that money. So once again, just because it's posted on the internet doesn't make it true or valid.
Yeah, anybody can post. I've done it. I've put things up on there on YouTube. Jim, you are now on the air. What can we do for you?
I have Kaspersky, and number one, should I get rid of it, and what should I replace it with?
We would say not to replace or get rid of Kaspersky because we consider it the best product on the market.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It takes very little overhead in terms of computer usage and things like that. And we know that there were a lot of rumors flying around about Eugene Kaspersky, the founder of the company, and his ties with the Russian government. But all of it's been found to be untrue. So we are still supporting and selling Kaspersky.
And most importantly, that is what I use, that is what Carol uses, that is what Joe uses, that's what we use, and we trust it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really interesting how that stuff gets started. And, with Kaspersky even offering the source code to the government to say, here, look at it, you'll see.
And the investigators refused to look at it.
Yeah. They didn't want to do anything about that.
As we just said, we are still recommending Kaspersky, and I would ask that everybody sort of help spread the word that Kaspersky is a good product and that those rumors that were going around were untrue. Just like we were talking about the YouTube videos, and you can post anything you want. People really can post just about anything they want. And of course, we know about journalism and journalists these days who are posting fake news or proposing fake news.
I would like to add something else, and we've said this many times before, that all of us at Computer Corner, we use Kaspersky, and we also use 2 other products to supplement and keep our computers safe. And those are Hitman Pro and Malware Bytes.
Right.
Both of which are available for free downloads. We don't sell those, but you can get a free download, try it out. That trident, so to speak, we think it keeps your computer pretty safe. Tony, and you have a question for us?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm writing a little email, and I want to tell them what the temperature is here in Albuquerque. So I'm writing, like, example, 34. And how do you throw in that little 0 for the degree sign?
Okay, the question is, what email are you using? Are you in Microsoft Outlook or Gmail or what?
Outlook.
Okay, in Outlook uses Microsoft Word for its actual processing of all the text that you type. You should be able to go to Format Text, and in Format Text, type the 0, select the 0, and then go to the superscript button, which is going to be on your screen.
Oh, okay, I think I understand that.
Okay? It's a simple one. In Outlook, if you're using something else, it's a more complicated process. But since Outlook uses Microsoft Word for its processing of text, you should, when you go to the Format Text item on the ribbon, you should be able to see the superscript and subscript keys there. Buttons, actually, I should say.
Great.
One more question.
Sure.
I'm a late bloomer here. I get mixed up between the operating system and I guess, what would you call it, the programs that I'm using,
Sure.
like Word, Excel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you shorten something to describe the 2 differences?
Okay, the operating system is the boss. The operating system runs the computer. The applications programs communicate to the computer hardware through the operating system.
You have to have an operating system for the machine to boot up, to get to your applications.
In the old days, we called it the supervisor program.
I see. So if somebody asks me what's the operating system, I tell them what?
Windows 7, Windows 10, Vista, that kind of thing.
Okay, and then
the applications are Word, Excel, Quicken, AutoCAD, Photoshop programs.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the question, Tony. Tony, and I'll bet you there are a bunch of other people out there who really wanted to know the answer to that, too.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
very
Have
much.
a great day. Bye-bye. And we're going to Mark, who has a question for us. Mark, you're on the air. What can we do for you?
I've got a question for you. Here it is. I've got a computer at home that's nowhere, shape, or form connected to the Internet because I don't want somebody trying to get into it from the outside world. But my iPhone, I've got files on it. I keep data and things like that on jobs and work and that I've done, and I would like to be able to transfer that information onto my computer that I've got at home. How do I do that?
Well, that's going to depend on a couple of things. Number one, which iPhone you have, and if you have and since you don't want to do it through the iCloud, since you don't want to be on the Internet, the only other method that would be really possible, well, I have 2 methods that would be possible for you. One would be if your particular iPhone, if you have the adapter that allows it to connect to a computer's USB port. And assuming that the iPhone does have the right software in it, the right level of software to allow that communications. That's actually how I transfer files from my Android phone to my computer and vice versa. The other way would be to potentially, if the files aren't humongous, to email them but then you're back on the internet.
Right. No, he's not going to
Yeah,
be able
you don't
to
want to
do
get
that.
on the internet. So you have to see if you have the proper adapter to connect the iPhone through its little port down at the bottom to a USB device, and that's not something that comes standard with an iPhone.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing how many phone calls I get from folks saying that they've got information saying that my computer is corrupted when it's
Right.
not even
Yeah.
connected.
They know you better than you do.
Yeah, lesson there, huh? If you're not even connected
Yeah.
to the internet and that you're getting those messages, right?
Yeah.
Just hang up.
Get those phone calls. Gee.
Just say no.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, they do make, I've just looked it up, they do make the connector to connect your iPhone to a USB, and I can see them online. So if you go online and Google USB connector for iPhone, you'd be able to find one. I don't think that's something we carry in stock, but
No.
we could certainly get it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate that
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Pat has a question.
And a friend of mine had said that I could buy something like a hotspot or a wire spot that I can put in my house for, I don't know, what, $10 a month, where I could actually pick up Wi-Fi. Now, I'm so vaguely insecure on any of that stuff.
Okay.
You have any information
Sure.
on that?
It's a very simple process in actuality, but it's not so that, well, yes, it does give you Wi-Fi on your end, but what it's using is the actual telephone company 4G signal. So here's the downside of that. To get a hotspot, you have to have, obviously, an account with one of the phone companies, Verizon or whoever it happens to be. And you also have to have, if you don't want to go broke, a data unlimited plan, because when you use a hotspot, it does a lot of data gets transferred, and if you have a plan that says only 1 gigabyte a month, you're probably going to bust through it. Okay, but they're easy to get. You can get them at any one of the phone stores in town. They all sell them. Now, let me ask you another question. Do you have a smartphone?
I have a smartphone and I have Wi-Fi on it, but I wanted to be able to use my computer with
Right.
it, and I can't.
If you have a modern smartphone, it probably has built-in hotspot capability. Okay, but I don't know what brand you've got. My phone has the ability to turn itself into a hotspot. I have used that on occasion when I could not get something else to work.
Are you thinking of trying to use your desktop computer as the connection for your Wi-Fi?
A laptop, yeah.
Oh, then you should be okay because you've got the wireless card in there anyway.
Right.
What are you using to connect to the internet right now?
Oh, the only time it connects is with my little phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I keep it very limited because I'm only really looking to have a bigger screen because as I've gotten older, my eyes have gotten smaller.
Tell me about it. I know the feeling very well.
I'm on LG where
Okay.
there's no contract or anything, but you purchase your data minutes,
Right.
through a card and
Yeah.
you're on there, and I find that that's more than enough for what my
Okay,
usage on the internet would be.
then using your phone as the hotspot should work just fine.
Yeah, except I can't read the screen.
Oh no, but
Got
I'm
it.
trying to figure out what do I do? Hook my phone into my laptop?
you're not hooking the phone into the laptop, but you're using the phone, and you need to go to the wireless connection on your laptop. You need to enable the hotspot, and then have the wireless connection look for networks, and it will find your phone.
When you go into their phone provider, they should probably have something pre-printed to tell you exactly how to do this. They should if you're going to buy a product from them.
Yeah.
They really should, yeah.
I'll work on it, and I thank you again.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, Pat. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Go ahead.
The other possibility is that if you have something like this, a challenge like this, and you would like a Computer Corner technician to come to your home and help you do this, we can do that too.
Kyle. What's up, Kyle?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a 2-monitor setup on my. I just built my first PC a couple months ago, and I have a 2-monitor setup.
Mm-hmm.
And once out of every maybe 20 or 30 times that I boot from sleep, the monitor just stays black. And I actually have to do a hard reset because I can't see anything in terms of just restarting the computer. So I actually have to do a hard reset, and a hard reset solves it every time.
You know, all of this goes back to the sleep mode and hibernation mode from Microsoft. And I got to tell you, I don't use it. I turn it off. I don't think they had a finger on how to fix this. It's just too much trouble. What I do is when I walk away from the computer, I physically just shut the monitors off, leave the computers on, and forget about sleep mode and hibernation mode.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you the truth, that is not affecting me because I do let my computer go to sleep, but I only have a single monitor, so.
Okay.
And you'll save money doing it this
Yeah,
way.
you actually will. There's just the little button down there, probably at the bottom right. If you just hit it and walk away.
All right, I can do that. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye. James, what can we do for you?
Oh, I just wanted to brag real quick and then ask a question about RAM. We just bought a computer from you guys, and my wife loves it. It's improved her ability to play The Sims. But,
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, and everybody was so awesome when we were there, so thank you guys. Yeah, staff.
Thank you.
Thank you, James. We appreciate that.
So the thing is, I think it has like 1 gig of RAM in there. What would be better for that?
There's probably going to be a pair of RAM chips in the computer, but right
There
now,
is a pair, I'm sorry.
even 4 gigs of RAM is a low amount. Most of the time, we're selling computers as a baseline with 8 gigs of RAM, unless somebody insists on 4. So you probably have 8. And did you want to upgrade, or did you just want to ask what the benefits of upgrading might be?
Are you actually having difficulties, James?
No, the game runs smooth for her. The computer runs great. It just doesn't multitask as well since there's less RAM.
So yeah, that would be a good solution to get a second set of chips. And by the way, if you buy memory at Computer Corner, we install it for free for you, just to make sure that it's done correctly and that it matches and everything else. Whether or not you've bought your computer from us or not, we'll install your RAM at no charge, as long as you buy the RAM from us.
I think we're going to. So thank you guys again. Appreciate all that.
Thank you, James. Bye-bye. You know, that's an interesting thing. The installation of RAM in a computer is not, the most difficult task in the world, but it is very easy to make a mistake. I guess the simplest one is dropping a screw into the computer.
Memory in general, you just can't go out on the internet and buy this stuff. You need to know the size, the speed, DDR1, 2, 3, 4.
Buffered, unbuffered.
Yeah. Take it to somebody who built the machine and knows what they're doing.
Okay. Bonnie?
Good morning. I have a question. I just got a new computer, and it came with Windows 10. And at the time I got it, I had the option of going back to 7, which I was really fond of. And Windows 10 to me is a little slow. Can I go back now? Would it be beneficial, or should I just leave it alone?
If you're having trouble with Windows 10, you could come in and take a Windows 10 class. Maybe we could show you some things that will help speed things up for you. I actually find Windows 10 to be pretty quick myself.
I think I'll live with it. I was just curious because I love 7, but I also heard that 7 is not going to be supported.
It's good until April 11th of 2020.
Oh, just 2020?
Yeah, 2020. And I even gave you the correct date.
And then my other question was, and I'll make it quick, I got in the last part of something about transferring something from an Android phone to a computer.
Well,
and I do have an Android. What kind of fill me in on...
Okay, the question actually we were answering was about an Apple phone, but the same thing holds true with an Android. If you have things that you want to transfer to your PC from your Android or from your PC to the Android, you can get a USB connector that plugs into the bottom of the Android, plugs into a regular USB port. Now, I can't go too much further there because it all depends on the model of the phone. On my particular phone, it works automatically. On other phones, I know you have to enable USB debugging for that to work. And that's as far as I want to take that without going into the details of how to find USB debugging on a phone.
Okay. So take it to Verizon, which is what the service I have.
Or you could
help me with that.
Or you could Google it and find out, because that's how I found out how to do it on the first phone I had that required it to be set to USB debugging to get the file transfer to work.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Paul, what can we do for you?
Howdy, partner. Hoping there's a whole lot of people listening. and thank all the people down there at Computer Corner.
Wow.
I write Western novels, and I touched something on my computer the other day that messed that thing up as bad as Hogan's goat in a herd of cattle. So I called down there, and I talked to Trevor, and he said, well, bring it in. So I took that thing in there to Trevor. Let me tell you, that kid is smarter than any scientist I ever found in my life. In 15 seconds or so, he showed me just how stupid I am when it comes to a computer.
No, you weren't stupid, Paul. You might have been ignorant of how to do what he showed you, but you're not stupid. Yeah, you were smart enough to call.
But I'll tell you, him and Trevor and Travis both, I mean, they're fantastic. I hope you give them a raise because I'll be down there to spend more money so you can.
Very good.
Hey, thank you very much for that, Paul. We really appreciate when somebody takes the trouble to say nice things.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
And you too. Bye-bye. And without further ado, I'm going to go. Leslie, what can we do to help you?
Well, with the latest update to Windows 10, which was automatically downloaded and installed, I lost all of my touchscreen capability. And going into Device Manager, and it doesn't even show up anymore as one of my human interface devices. And that's not the first time it happened. When it's in Asus, and it came with 8.1, then I upgraded to Windows 10, and it worked fine with touchscreen and all. And then there were another Windows update, and it went away with that one. And it just went through all types of troubleshooting with the forum online and so forth, and never had any luck with that. And it's really frustrating.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
There's a couple of things. I can scroll with my finger using the screen. There's no expansion of the screen or anything like that. I can click on an icon, and it will open it up. But the touchscreen device doesn't show up under Device Manager or anything like that. And I'm wondering if you've run into problems like this before with...
Is this a laptop?
Yes, it is. It's an Asus.
Yeah. I would suggest getting on their website and downloading the latest drivers for that laptop.
Well, I've done that.
Okay.
Or I've tried to, and it says you already have the latest drivers available. So that was no help. And I called their technical support, and it wasn't very technical. They just said, you don't have a touch screen. I said, I've had a touch screen for 4 years.
Oops.
Yeah.
So that was a loser.
So it sounds like we don't have a quick fix for you right here. Do us a favor, though. Shoot an email to us. Our email is radioshow, which is all one word, at compcorner.com. I get those emails, and we'll look into it a little bit and then see if we can help you with that.
Let me throw out one fast thing to you. Download the free version of CCleaner and run that. Run it on the first thing that comes up and the second thing to clean up the registry, and see what happens.
It's called CCleaner, CCleaner.
By Picaform?
Puriform.
Okay, I have CC Cleaner.
Yeah, go ahead and try it.
Run it and see if that helps.
I've done the registry checks and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you know, it repairs all those things.
Right.
It just, it doesn't seem to come back.
All right, so if that doesn't work, shoot us an email. And for anybody else out there listening, if you've got some questions, we are happy to take your questions via email as well, all the time.
And your email address again is radioshow?
Radioshow at compcorner.com, COMPCORNER.com.
Great. That's terrific.
Bye. John.
I have a Windows 7 HP Pavilion laptop, and a few months ago I had upgraded to Windows 10, and then Windows 10 crashed. So I had to restore my computer using the HP Backup and Restore program.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've restored it all, and I got it back up to Windows 10, I discover I don't have all my files.
Right.
I don't know where they went.
Oh, John, I'm afraid we kind of know where they went, but...
I had a hunch that was the answer.
Right. The best thing you can do for yourself to protect, no matter what the circumstances, you could get a virus, you could have a hard drive failure, you could have this issue with the operating system at an upgrade. If you have valuable files and data on your computer, you need to back up your data. And just do it. Take the responsibility to do it, because if something happens and you lose it, it's just gone, and that's a shame.
And there are automatic tools that you can get. In fact, we sell Carbonite, where you can actually have an automatic backup going on behind the scenes while you're doing things. And I know that's not going to help you with what just happened, but for the future going forward, you might want to think about something like that.
And can you use an external hard drive for
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
And we, of course, we sell those too at Computer Corner.
Right.
So.
And I have one of those, as well as using the online backup. So give that a try, John. And sorry for your loss, really.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Hey, the Computer Corner show will be back in 2 weeks. Till then, we hope that you'll think of Computer Corner for all your hardware, software, services, and training needs. Remember,
you get more at the corner. Computer Corner.
Until that time, mind your bits and bytes. This is Phil.
And Carol.
And Joe.
Wishing you carefree computing. The Computer Corner radio show is logging off.